heavy eye contact, and drinking a mug, he's gay.
So
You are. You are gay.
well, we don't speak for the guy from The Walking Dead, but we do say that we welcome you all to the podcast of the century. Called the Final Guys. That's really what we. That's really what we should have done. That we should have literally just did the podcast and called it the Final Guys.
The Final Guys, I love it.
Yeah, Final Guys. Even though like everyone that
just sounded like a softcore porn title. The Final Guys.
There actually is a movie called The Final Girls, and it's actually a movie about what's it called? It's a movie about the it's like some movie. I forget what it's called. It's like Malina Ackerman's in it, and like the Adam Devine is in it. The dude from Pitch Perfect.
Oh yeah, I know the one.
Yeah. Adam
they go
Devine.
inside like a 80s slasher film. Yeah, it's not good. I don't like it. But, I thought that was a cool idea concept. So before we get going, here to start the podcast, I don't know why. I just feel like I just forgot everything that went out the window out of this podcast. But yeah, starting up here is Matt Wyatt. How you doing, Matt?
Doing good. I'm excited to get into Final Destination 3. One of the Final Destination films that was actually better than the last two movies kind of went downhill.
Well, a lot of people do say that this is considered like this is Ryan's favorite movie. And at first, I remember we were hazing him last week, like, oh, what, really? But then as you're watching this, wow, this is actually a really good movie. I'm like, gonna lie, I was like, fuck, Ryan's actually right. I was like, Ryan's actually right.
Yeah.
On this. I mean,
it almost felt like a spiritual sequel to the original because they brought back James Wong, who directed the first one.
Yeah. They wrote this one.
To quote AEW wrestler MJF, "You may thank me later."
I won't go that far with it. I will say, because you know what I think, Ryan?
Who cares?
I'm still amazed you found that clip. That is from an obscure movie.
Isn't that? It's a Dave Chappelle movie, a Norm Macdonald movie called Screwed or whatever. Danny DeVito did.
Yes.
I was wondering if that was the movie. I mean, that's an old movie like I've seen because I remember Dave Chappelle is in that movie. I love Dave Chappelle, so I know almost every Dave Chappelle movie he's in. Okay.
Yes, I am. I am a fan of Mr. Chappelle as well, and his many tales of the many machinations of the Smouye family, especially the patriarch Juicy.
I don't watch a lot of Dave Chappelle movies, but I watched The Chappelle Show. That was my childhood growing up in the mid-2000s, and those were comedy gold, and I think it still holds up, even though it doesn't hold up in today's standards with jokes and racial jokes, but I thought his jokes were fucking gold with these skits.
Yeah, oh my God.
Twitter would go, like, completely nuts if Clinton Biggs happened today.
Yeah, Clayton Biggs. Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, that's his name.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. By the way, whoever's wondering what that is, Google who Clayton Bigsby is from the Chappelle Show sketch. You will either die laughing, you'll be extremely offended. Either way, it's gonna make you have a reaction. That's for sure. It's not dual. That's for sure.
I share a lot of the Chappelle Show skits on my Instagram stories because I thought those skits are still fucking hilarious, and that most people, not everybody, have seen Chappelle Show.
Yeah, I will say. So before Ryan Cam's in the audience. How you doing, Ryan?
I'm doing good. I'm looking forward to this. This is the best Final Destination movie, and I am so looking forward to seeing Bloodlines tomorrow. Finally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually got the highest critic rating on Rotten Tomatoes out of all the Final Destination movie. I was surprised by that response.
And look, here's the thing. Okay, yeah, we're gonna do three or 4 and 5, and we're gonna review 6. So yeah, that's still happening. People wondering, are we going to stop after this one? No, we're going to do 4 and 5
No.
still. Yes, because you got. I'm a completionist. Yeah. So we're still going to have 3 and 4 and 5. Or this is 3 technically. I keep thinking this is 2. This is 3. We're still doing 4 and 5.
This is the second movie.
Yeah. Yeah. And so yeah, we're going to do that. Yeah. We're going to suffer through 4.
Yeah. We'll suffer through 4 and 5, even though that 5 was a little more tolerable, but the ending
4
was
is a comedy. 4 is straight up a comedy.
Yeah, it's literally a parody.
A racist gets killed in that movie, and
No,
the song that's
there
playing
were
is
two
Like
racist.
Friends.
There were literally like 3 racist characters. One with the couple
Yeah.
and one with the old man who was sitting on that bungee jumping thing in the hospital. Remember that war veteran guy made a racist remark?
And I'm just like, all right, look, you already have a racist character. Why do you need another one? I mean, I understand this is New Orleans in this movie, but come on, like,
I mean, they want the worst. It feels like that they want us to root for death to get rid of the worst people in the movie.
fun fact: Final Destination 4 is shot entirely in New Orleans.
Yeah,
I did not know that until I saw the movie. I'm like, what? Yeah, I'm just like, can you imagine that? Like,
that movie was heavily like a cheap version, straight to like TV movie on the Sci-Fi Channel.
and
They brought back the same director that made the second film.
It doesn't like it starts with the accent. That's what makes me mad because I'm like, it doesn't even build to the tension. It just goes right to it. It's like, nobody gives a shit about character exposition.
They're not. They didn't even.
Nobody gives a shit
They
about that.
relied too much on the body count. It was over reliance on the spectacle, the body count. That's all the gore fest.
All right. So I just want to say, this is Final Destination 3. This is made by the same guys who made the first one, because I think when 2 came out, they were busy making the 1, I believe. They were making the 1 when that part 2, so they didn't make part 2. And so, I'm sure they regret that decision, making part of the 1. Jet Li's the 1.
But also, he directed Dragon Ball Evolution after this movie.
Yeah,
Because
they chose, by the way, they could have made part 4, but instead they made Dragon Ball Evolution, which I'm like, any day.
I think New Line wanted to get James Wong back for the 4th movie, and they couldn't get him back because he was shooting Dragon Ball Evolution. Because the 4th movie in Evolution came out in 2009 in the same year.
So both the Final Destination fans lost that.
They even brought back the character Texas, who was the black jock douchebag dude in the 3rd one, who plays the bully in that Dragon Ball Evolution.
Yeah,
working with James Wong.
Yeah, this movie is actually a very good movie, and I'm really happy to do this movie. We're going to get started, but before we do, here's some background information. So people don't know that Tony Todd was actually in this movie. Actually, he is the voice of the devil above the entrance of the roller coaster. He provided the speaking voice saying, "This is the end of the life," and the end towards the end of the film.
This is the end of the line.
Yeah, and also the cast members. I feel so bad for them. I
didn't realize that it was the devil's voice that was from Tony Todd, but then I recognized by the 3rd act, by the ending of the movie in the train station, that was definitely Tony Todd again.
Yeah, he does the voice at the end of the movie when the subway train station, and he does that at the beginning of the movie. Also, the cast members, this is a real true thing, and I feel bad for them. I would never do this movie because I do not do rides when I go to theme parks because I cannot do it. That's just me. I don't even like flying on planes. That's why I have to take Dramamine.
But that's what this movie did. It made us fear for everything. Every time we watched the Final Destination, it made us not want to go on the plane. Made us not want to go to the tanning salon, or the fucking roller coaster ride.
Which I will say this is what's sad, okay? So in order to be a cast member in this movie, the cast members on the roller coaster had to ride it 26 times on the same night in order to shoot the film's main premonition scene. 26.
Most of that
in their cart, they had a cart built in with vomit bags, so that way they could throw up, and they would literally everybody had to take Dramamine, and everybody would have to have vomit bags. That way they would puke.
Oh God.
And a lot of the cast were just sitting there, especially they said Texas. The guy Texas was about to puke in the movie. He had a vomit.
But also there were close-ups when they were about to add the destruction, and it was done on green screens, obviously.
Can you imagine that though? Can you imagine being in the movie? You're like, oh.
But also, here's the thing: the tanning salon scene when these 2 hot girls were getting burned alive to a crisp. That shit was not done in CG. It was done practical. They used a body double to set them on fire, and they had to get near. And one of the crew member had to use a fire extinguisher and get ready to put the fire out. Like, that was not done in CG. That shit was more realistic than you think.
Also, listen to this though. This is one of the films that director and team collaborated for the film's inception because they were trying to come up with a choose your own fate. The film was shot with a DVD interactive feature in mind. There were several scenes were filmed several times with various outcomes. Where it's like if you bought the DVD of Final Destination 3, you stick it in, you could play. It's like a fortune teller fate, where you could save a character and then like it'll show them surviving their accident.
Or you could just choose whatever how ways they should die in the movie.
Yeah, it was shot that way, which that's actually a cool idea, and I wish they would have brought that back.
Oh man, I wanted them to continue to do more choose your own fate thing. I always love that. I'm a sucker for that one.
Yeah, this is one of the films that the director. Yeah, okay, and also the scene takes place in town, but it had a close set with only the camera operator and the director were present, and blackout curtains were hung to keep the scene private. Which that's good for them. You know, it wasn't like you had 50 guys just walking around on set going, "Yeah, hot."
Yeah, you can get that the choose your own fate for the 2-disc set at Amazon for like $13.
That's cool.
Ooh.
I mean, yeah. If you want to check those scenes out, well, I mean, or you can just probably look it up on YouTube.
Yeah, they do have it on YouTube that you can just watch the whole thing and see how it all plays out. I mean, you don't. I mean, no matter what you try to choose their fate, you're just basically just choosing each of the characters of how they're going to die or how they're going to get saved.
Also, the ending was reshot because of unfavorable reactions. Because the movie just ended after the crane fell, and the 3 survivors walked away, and it just was the end. And Testine's like, "What the fuck? That's the ending." So then they went back a couple months later and shot the whole train sequence.
Smart.
I'm like, that. Can you imagine if that was just how it ended? Like, that's just it just ends.
Just to walk in the train station, and that's how they were going to end that movie.
No, they were like, no. Whenever the dude gets crushed by the sign at the end, and then the survivors just see that, it ends.
Oh yeah. I saw that ending. Yeah, that scene. But I will say that I did like that the destruction of the train. I did like that when the death was about to circle them back and get them all in the same train station inside the train car. And it was great watching on the practical. It was so fucking incredible to watch. The thing that really pissed me off is that she had a vision, and then it just happened anyway, and they're going to relive that, and she's reliving it all over again, which I get that they want to go bold on that and fool the audience. But I feel like what was the point of seeing the whole thing and just so that you could just relive that all over again? Is this fucking Groundhog Day? Like what? I didn't get the point of that.
So this is crazy. After reshooting the ending in winter of 2005, the whole train sequence, production of the film finally wrapped January 31st, 2006. The movie opened February 10th, 2006. So only 10 days of post-production.
Well, fun fact, speaking of the reshoots, from the last-minute reshoots, Rogue One, that Darth Vader hallway scene, that was a last-minute reshoot before they premiered the movie for everyone on the red carpet. They had to do it a very short amount of time for the Darth Vader hallway scene in Rogue One.
So, yeah, that is actually true. You're right. That's true. Listen to this, though. Ashley Tisdale auditioned for the role of the sister. You know, the one that Amanda Crew plays in the movie?
Yeah.
Says, "Tell like this to me." Yeah, Ashley Tisdale auditioned and lost the role. Vanessa Hudgens actually auditioned and almost got the role, but she was too young, the crew felt. So,
but I think Ashley Tisdale would kind of make more sense.
Something tells me Vanessa Hudgens turned out okay. She literally started in High School Musical this year, or the movie. This came out 2006. High School Musical came out 2006. So
yeah, it was early of the year.
Yeah.
All right. Did you know that John Waters named Final Destination 3 as one of his favorite DVD pickups in November of 2007 interview? Yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
Also, the tanning bed scene, the girls were reluctant to go topless, but were relented when James Wan put them at ease, explaining how being topless would make the victims appear more vulnerable and the scene more realistic. For Simmons, it was her first time doing on-screen nudity. She was very nervous, but Wan closed off the set with only him and the camera operator present to give access privacy, making them both comfortable. The title in Japan for Final Destination 3 is called Final Death's Coaster. Final Death Coaster. The title was considered to change for originally the filmmakers considered changing the title to Final Destination 3 Cheating Death or Final Destination 3D, and even 3D was considered but deemed too expensive at the time. So and also the scene where the girl gets slapped the scene where the girl gets slapped in the movie was actually a real slap in the face, because he says there was originally she was meant to get pushed, but then when actually he pushed his hand, he actually slapped the girl in the face, and then the other guy just jumped on it as improvisation.
Wow.
Interesting.
I,
I'm
I
like,
don't, I don't remember the slap scene in that movie.
man, there's a scene. Remember, like the black dude gets out of the train and says,
Oh yeah. He
And then he
backhand that goth
Then
chick. Yeah.
his hand goes and slaps her, and he goes, "Ow!" That was
So
a
that was
real.
real. So that was actually a real slap.
Yes,
Was that intentional or was that accidental? And they add that into the movie.
they said that was accidental, and they just.
Oh my god.
And they said a guy playing her boyfriend just jumped in, to make it like to improv and jumped in on them, and that.
Oh yeah. I could that made sense because it did sounded real for the moment. I was like, oh my god, did he actually slap that goth chick? Like, damn, dude.
Oh wow! Okay, Zac Efron auditioned for the role for Kevin, but had to drop out due to schedule in conflicts with High School Musical.
High School
Hey,
Musical.
they got their break. they probably made the right
I mean-
choice on their part.
Okay,
And now Zac Efron just did the Iron Claw, which was awesome. So
Oh, I
it all
love the
worked.
Iron Claw. It was so criminally underrated that it was kind of a crime against humanity that they did not even get any Oscar nomination off of that movie.
It says
Matt, I'll
Amanda Peet.
educate you later if you want, but just let me just say the story is even darker than how the movie.
No, I've heard about that. I've heard the story was much more darker than what they've shown in the movie. They thought it would be way too much if they did show more of that shit in the Iron Claw movie.
There's another brother that they kind of melded into.
I've heard they left that other brother out of the movie, and the director said like, no, this was going to be too much for the audience to handle because this movie is heavily dark and depressing enough as it is, and we don't want to add any more than what it already is now.
So you guys ready?
Yes.
Yeah,
When I say go, let's go.
All
5,
right.
4, 3, 2, 1, go. I do like that they brought the same composer back from part 1.
Dude, they're adding the red of that New Line Cinema. I haven't seen that in a long time since Freddy vs. Jason when they did a New Line opening of it.
And this was like a year
love-
after New Line had got acquired by Warner Brothers.
I high key miss when.
Well, no, New Line
studios-
has been around for the Final Destination since the beginning of the
No,
franchise.
but like they were an independent studio until 2004.
Oh yeah, you're
They
right.
were
You're
acquired
right.
By Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
I high key miss when studios would have like custom logos for their various movies, like if Disney ever did like a live action thing or something a little more serious, they do the orange and black like intro where it was like a match passing by, and then the Disney castle would have it in the back, and then like Warner Brothers in the Harry Potter series, they would have the Warner Brothers logos sky slowly get darker as the movies go on. I miss that so much.
Yeah, I miss the old school opening studio logo, especially with WB. They always dun 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 dun. I love that opening of Warner Brothers. We don't have that anymore.
I like how
Wicked
they,
sort of brought it back with the throwback on the original Universal logo. I like.
Oh yeah,
that.
they
And
did. It was very old school
know
to
Tom-
from the
I know
original.
Tom-
Disney logo.
I just
Do you guys miss the
I just
Disney
triggered-
logo?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
I miss the Disney logo from the 90s. I always miss that. It was just simple. It was simple. The music was just appealing. It's magical when you watch it, when you're getting ready to watch the movie. Because back in the day, like back in the 90s and 2000s, Disney always required making live action original movies. They don't do that anymore.
What were you saying, Ryan?
No, I was gonna say I was rewatching the first 3 Pirates of the Caribbean movies last weekend, and when the THX logo hit on Curse of the Black Pearl DVD, I'm like, "Yep, this logo still terrifies me to this day."
You know, I just
They did something a little different in the opening, where now it's more in the Carnival Park. Because in the first 2 movies of Final Destination, it was taking place in the main protagonist's their room. That was all creepy, and they keep dolls around. Like, what the hell is going on? I thought this one's a little bit better
Well,
opening.
With
and also I like
incredibly
how they
subtle
added something to the. I like how they added something. They kept the original theme from the first movie, but then they added something to the score of it. So it's still the same theme, but it's more like how every time David Gordon Green would do a Halloween movie, he would up the theme. He would.
Yeah.
That's how I like how they did that with this movie. What were you saying, Ryan?
I was just going to say, seeing Mary Elizabeth Winstead, I was thinking to myself, I wonder what Evil X we're on in this one.
Scott Pilgrim.
All right, she took the photo, and it says "High Die," and it takes the V out of there. That's another little bit sign, and they did something different now, where she's seeing the clues of how the victims are going to die. Is the photos?
Now let me ask you guys: do you think they should have started like them on their way to the theme park, or do you think they should have started in the theme park?
Ooh, that's a good question. I didn't think about that.
I honestly, I wish if I would just like the only thing my nitpick with this movie is I would have like started on her way to the theme park because like just like with Flight 180, I like the build up to like the first Final Destination. Right?
Did you know that two of the cast members of Final Destination 3, the one that plays Mary Elizabeth Winston's boyfriend, and then the blonde hot chick, two of the cast members, they were in Tucker versus Dale. No, Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
I thought you were gonna say they were on Smallville because I'm like, no, I'm like Matt. Newsflash: everybody in this cast was part of Smallville except for Mary.
No, I know that.
There's like three people.
Even Ryan Merriman, but he started off doing the Disney Channel movies.
Ryan Merriman's like, I just shot season 3 of Smallville. Now I'm doing Final Destination. Sky's the limit for me now.
Yeah, because most of the cast members are more of the television actors. But except for Mary Elizabeth Winstead, I don't think she started off doing television.
So I went when I was doing the review last night. I went on Wikipedia to read the cast list off. There's only 2 people that were credited on the cast list that says Mary Elizabeth and Ryan Merriman, and I'm just thinking, damn, they did those actors dirty. Like in the Wikipedia, just put 2 actors' names. Like they're the only ones that are known. I'm like, Amanda Crew did Silicon Valley, and she did like Charlie St. Cloud and the Sex Drive.
Well, these were not like big household names for the whole cast when they did this movie.
I think what was she in? She was in.
She was in Sky High. I thought like this was because this was a year before Final Destination 3, and they came out in 2005 for the Disney movie called Sky High. And she played the main villain in the movie, and I thought that was the first movie the first thing I've ever saw her in.
Right? Wasn't she in like that? She was in Saw the Final Chapter, right? The guy's girlfriend, Ryan Merriman's girlfriend.
That's the one.
Do you know that the youngest girl, the blonde girl, she was in the original It series, the Tim Curry. She was the little girl at the beginning of the movie, the It miniseries that gets killed by Pennywise in the front yard.
Oh, in the sewer.
I will say that most of the characters, they started off kind of unlikable douchebags, but I will say with the Ryan Merriman's character, he started off being an asshole and a pervert, but he actually stepped up later in the movie, but most of the other characters are just more irredeemable.
It's an open theme park. What the hell is that have an issue with?
It's a 25-year-old girl pretending to be fucking 17 in this movie.
Unless they had the money to close down the entire theme park for these seniors, this is a non-starter.
Yeah, but isn't it like a public domain?
Do y'all remember? Yeah, y'all remember those little like cameras, the Lumix? That's some nostalgia for you.
Dude looks like the poor man's Chris Brown.
Dude, you look like you look fucking 50 years old, dude.
He looks like Chris Brown before he beat Rihanna.
Oh dear.
He kind of looks like a knockoff of Drake.
Like post domestic charges. Look at him now. He's got blonde hair, tattoos everywhere. You know, he looks like Dennis Rodman now. The other day I saw a picture of Chris Brown. I'm like, that looks like Dennis Rodman.
Well, Dennis Rodman won 6 NBA titles. What has Chris Brown done for me lately?
Yeah, you hear Tony Todd's voice as the devil.
This is the beginning of the end.
They said that when they built the statue of the devil, they said they made sure everything was adequate. And they said everything. They even put like a little pecker on them just so that way. And they said, do we really need that on there? And they're like, yes, it has to be accurate. They said it was just the prop guys having fun. I'm like, yeah, but it took you extra time to build that.
The commitment is noted and appreciated.
They said when they walk in, all of them walking in, that is all set. Them like in that area where they walk in to like get on the coaster, that's all in the coaster part is a set. Because the coaster that they shot on was actually outside, so they built like a production where they get on the fake coaster and then.
This fucking guy.
Like they're like 17.
Dude, he's such a fucking pervert and a creep that he may be a serial killer.
He looks like the poor man's Michael Rosenbaum.
Yeah, that's true. He does.
He just
Like,
looks
this guy deserves to die more than anybody in this movie.
He looks like he'd be Michael Rosenbaum's body double in Smallville.
He would definitely be his body double. I would believe it.
I'm gonna Google. I'm gonna just see. I'm kind of curious now.
Dude, now you're fucking gonna Google it.
I just want to say what this
He
guy
is.
did in Final Destination, what this guy has done since. It'd be funny. I would laugh my ass off if I found out that he actually was like a body stand-in for Michael Rosenbaum.
The sign
let me
literally
see.
says, "I'll see you soon." That is such a nice touch.
I'll see you soon.
Frankie Cheeks. I think that's weird that his name is Frankie Cheeks.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead impersonating my exact feelings of roller coasters.
I can't do roller coasters. That's the one thing I can't do.
I will do roller coasters. I don't give a shit. Like, I have the balls to go up to doing crazy roller coaster rides.
Nope, he was not in Smallville, which is a shame because he looks like he could be a body double.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like, even after this third movie, I still was, even though I'm scared to go on the roller coaster, but I just let her say, fuck it. If it's my time to go, it's my time to go.
Yeah, but you know what? Don't go on the roller coaster, dude. Here's the thing. I had a friend of mine who used to work at a theme park, and he says I would not get on that because these things were built like it's not like a big like Disney World type theme park. It's like like a carnival fair type thing.
Yeah.
And he said, "Don't get on that roller coaster." I'm like, "Why?"
As we have just seen, the non-union legally distinct Michael Rosenbaum, who I will be calling Mitchell Rosenblatt, is a juggalo just based on his necklace.
But dude, you're not gonna sit in the back with your girlfriend? What kind of a boyfriend are you, pal? You little chump.
Right. Like I've always had an issue with that. I'm like, I'm sorry, but you're going to an amusement park with your girlfriend. You're a terrible boyfriend.
And also, why are you forcing her on the fucking ride when she has no intention of going on the ride? Why are you trying to pressure her to go on?
6. Yeah, Mitchell Rosenblatt.
You can tell some of the extras look like they've been through hell on that ride when they get off. One of them was about to vomit.
One of them was crying.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're the worst boyfriend ever. You're gonna not go into the back with your girlfriend to protect her. God, this guy needs to fucking die. Please die.
Know your role, Rosenblatt.
Does he think that they're going to want him after if they see he's like, oh yeah, if I become a creep, they're going to be like, yeah.
I don't know what his goal is.
I mean, what is your end game, bro? Really, what is your end game?
You think if you stalk them enough that they would give in? Hey kids, Your lives are saved. Good thing you didn't go on the roller coaster.
Imagine if like the kid that imagine if the kid like if the kids would have went on there and
Ooh, the hydraulics is leaking. God, I remember seeing that kind of
there is a
camcorder.
plot hole in this scene coming up.
The camcorder.
Yep, that is a plot hole. You know why?
No, I've heard about that plot hole because it falls off into the track, and then it causes the fucking hydraulics, and it fucking causes the cars.
But when he gets off,
break apart.
there is no camera recorder. So I'm like,
Yeah, there is no camera. He had it on him the whole time when he got off the ride.
I'm just like, makes no sense. It would have been more funny if the camcorder was sitting right there, and you're like, the camcorder.
But also the hydraulics were leaking too.
State of that gum, dear God.
Yeah, you get assholes who put gum under the fucking seats.
Hey, I worked in a movie theater for 3.5 years, so I've seen.
Oh, it happens everywhere. It gets everywhere, bro.
So I want to see. I wonder what the shot's going to be. I want to see because you could tell they said there's probably shots where they're just like this going. So I rewatched this a couple of times, this sequence, to see if I could spot the sister because the sister is supposed to be on the roller coaster.
Yeah, here's one major plot hole. How did she not notice her sister was on that ride? They were all together, even when they got off the ride. You did not spot your sister and your friends.
But they put like a hoodie over them so that way the camera. I saw a spot or a friend like they're wearing hoodies. I'm just like, I was like.
That was one of the things that really bothered me. I mean, I get that they want to do the plot twist, but really, she could not have spot her.
But I mean, like, what was she gonna do? Oh, you can't ride the roller coaster. You're not 18.
No, I mean, no, she would have spot her sister on that ride when they got off. You were literally like 2 seats away from each other.
I wonder. I would love to just see. I would love to just see, like, you know, the cast, like, you know, going. So, maybe like that Jim Carrey from The Grinch. Remember after he's already eaten, he's like, ugh. Imagine like they got a shot. Imagine like on a 20-second take, they're just like this going. They're all just looking like this, like, I wonder. I'm kind of curious. I'm kind of curious. Do they actually have stories? I'm sure they have stories about them. Like, oh yeah, like I got puked on. One girl just puked all over me because they had and then they're like, oh, sorry, you got to go again. And you're like, no. Fuck off, Frankie.
That's what you get. Oh.
Yeah, that's what caused it. The camera.
Rosenblatt is the author of all of this pain.
Yeah, you ain't having fun now.
Straight up case of FAFO, buddy.
Man, I wish I would have seen this in theaters. I had never seen the first 3 Final Destination movies in theaters or the 5th one. The 4th one was the only movie I saw that in the theater in the 3D version.
I think it's funny how they have hoodies for the sister. Yeah. Oh, like so they can't make sure the camera could not catch them in the camera.
Oh, jeez.
First of all, you would not be hanging on for that long. You would slip and fall or right this second. Yeah. You call bullshit on that one.
Right there, and there, and there, and there. Somehow not there.
Like, sorry,
see ya.
Sorry.
It was nice knowing you.
Oh. Ow.
That's gotta hurt.
The people in the very back should be happy because I'm like, look, we're not that bad.
The front row, they're the first ones to go. See ya.
You can survive that, Jeff Hall.
No, you would not survive that.
No.
And like, see, there's the sister. Her sister fell. Y'all can survive this. I mean, just hang on, you know. I've seen National Lampoon's Vacation. I've seen Vacation. I know, like, they get caught up there and the fire department has to come rescue.
Ooh. God.
Oh.
Got fucking split
Oh.
in half.
And we're back. She's going to pull a Bugs Bunny and say, "Get me out of here!"
They would let everybody off. And just be like,
Yeah, they would. No, if they would take that shit seriously. They would not let that
Yeah.
ride go.
This blasé attitude would never happen at like a Disney or a Six Flags. Like,
see right here. This is where.
sit down here, Diet Drake. the artist formerly known as Dyke.
Even the boyfriend was begging that guy to let him off the ride.
I would be screaming, "Get me off this!"
Yeah, I know, and the asshole didn't even do it. Like, that's not how. Like, that's completely unprofessional. They would not allow that shit. They would let everybody off the ride. It's like, what an asshole.
How was she able to come back? That's my thing. It's like she.
I know.
It's like, hey, it's like, well,
Where's the other people? Where the hell did they go? They kicked them off the fucking ride. There's only 2 people left.
And ladies and gentlemen, trauma.
Ladies and
imagine
gentlemen,
if
may I
the
introduce to
boyfriend-
you Trauma.
if the boyfriend would have got off the roller coaster, and then I'm sure that the other guy's girlfriend would have got off too, and then the 4 people would have just died. It would have been only 4 people that died because
Yeah.
everybody else got off the thing, you know. But then guess what would have happened? Then other people, all those people in line, would have got on the thing, and then they would have died. Which, by the way, there was only 4. There was like 6 people on the roller coaster, and all those things. You would think really they would not refill the seats up? No, it's gonna say, you know what? These 4 people we're just gonna let them go.
No, they probably would have let everybody off that ride, and they would take that shit seriously if something goes wrong with the roller coaster. If they're yelling out that there's tracks are broken, blah blah blah. Like, no, they would take that shit seriously.
I remember at Disney World, we got stuck on It's a Small World ride. Thank God it's not like a roller coaster. It's just like a little boat that goes, "It's a small world after all." And it was right by the exit, too. Like, we literally got up, walked to the exit.
The only thing scary about that is the annoying song.
We were just sitting there. Like, we could literally get up and walk. We said, "Hey, can't we just get up and walk?" Like, no, because safety. If you slip and fall and break it, you could fall and hit the foot. Look, I don't think I'm going to sue. I said, I just want to walk. Literally, we stayed in there for like 35 minutes on that ride. Flight 180 blew up. I like how he recapped the first movie where he's like,
Yeah,
Flight 180 blew up.
I did like that. I like how when he was recapping that whole event from the first movie.
I think honestly, though, I think like, would you think this theme would have been a big tragedy? I mean, like 4 people gets killed on a roller coaster. It would have been like, it wouldn't have been as big. I think a freeway pileup is a big thing. Like to me, I feel like a theme park's not a big deal. Like just like a water park disaster would not be a big deal.
Well, when it comes to roller coaster rides, they take that shit seriously. It is a tragic that many people die on a roller coaster ride.
Like you don't hear like I remember like people get killed in theme parks all the time. You
I
don't-
mean, even at Valley Fair, there have been many incidents that took place on the fucking roller coaster that people died from.
people die, but it's like so common. Like as I say, you gotta go at your own risk. Now, like a NASCAR pileup or a bridge collapse, that's 2 different things. Those are like.
Yeah, every now and then there are bridge collapse. I mean, how many
James
we had
Brown,
bridge
remember,
collapse?
he was killed in a bridge collapse. Remember? Wasn't James Brown killed in a bridge collapse?
It's so funny that the Goth character Ian, whose last name is McKinley, named after a high school. So this one they did a little bit differently. They didn't treat the Mary Elizabeth Winston's character a freak, and like after that a tragic event.
How do you have her number? That's what I want to know.
It's kind of funny when they have high school series, like television series for Netflix, and everybody in the school knows everybody's number.
Look, it really is a small world. After all.
It's like, I'm sorry, because
Okay,
because I've seen like 13 Reasons Why. There's a show 13 Reasons Why, and I've heard, and I know you probably already know that show, but apparently everybody in in school knows each other's number automatically. Like, I don't understand how that shit works.
I heard that, like, so they had to edit the show down because they said there was so much messed up stuff.
Oh no, I saw the unedited version when it was on
Like,
Netflix
so
at the time.
apparently a girl commits suicide, so then they showed her suicide in the show, but then they cut
Yeah,
it.
they edited that out. They edited that out a few years later. I was like,
But come on,
what?
it's a show. It's a show.
They thought, oh, it's too heavy. It's too much.
I
Like,
mean, I'll say this.
You thought you wait, hold on. You thought about that shit now years later? Really?
I will say one thing. One of the best. Do you ever hear that song? The what's it called? Harry Sisson.
No.
Can't live without you. I can't live if living is without you. Remember, it's the song in the Final Destination 6 Bloodline, the tattoo shop trailer. Remember,
Oh yeah.
the tattoo guy's dad dies. He plays a song. I can't live, living is without you. There's a scene where, like, there's a scene in a movie called Rules of Attraction where a girl takes her own life because a guy is not interested in her, and that song sits there for 20 minutes. And the movie's made by Roger. What's his name? The one who wrote Pulp Fiction with Quentin Tarantino. What's the guy's name, Ryan? The one him and Roger something. I think it's Roger. Him and
Hang
Quentin
on, let me look.
They have a podcast together now. But him and Quentin Tarantino, they wrote Pulp Fiction together. They wrote like 3 movies together, and then they both went and took their careers somewhere else. Like Quentin made Kill Bill and stuff, and he went and made
Roger Avery.
Roger Avery.
Translation: if you could probably just stop being you for 5 minutes, that'd be great.
I would have been like, get world's smallest violin here. I thought, no. Imagine if she would have said that world's. Ugh.
Wow, that bracelet's nothing but foreshadowing.
In the business.
Here's the first clue. There's one thing that bothered. Here's one thing that bothered me. The fucking store clerk dude doesn't have the key to the fucking door to the tanning salon, and doesn't even have a kickstand.
He uses a Coca-Cola can as a doorstop. Like,
yeah, like I said, like he doesn't even have a keys if he gets locked out. Like what? You're the only one working there.
He'll have to join the Russian mafia later, and then literally Bob Odenkirk will be looking for his daughter's bracelet.
Goddamn, his fucking girlfriend is still fucking calling him every 5 seconds they hung up. Like what?
If you get that reference, then you're a legend. Y'all, I don't know if y'all seen that movie, Mr. Nobody. Nobody.
I've seen Nobody.
Yeah, Nobody. That's what I'm talking about. You know,
with Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah. He's the villain in that movie.
Well, dude, I've only seen it once. I haven't seen it in a while, but I'm going to rewatch that film anyway.
Took his daughter's bracelet.
Hello, Johnny Ramone. Good to see you.
She has the Ramone's bobblehead.
I
don't want to be buried in a pet cemetery.
No, is it? No, that's not. I fought the one. That's not Johnny Ramone, is it? It's. I know it's the
yeah. Let's go.
Yeah,
hey, let's go. Which that's the people on the roller coaster sing that song. Hey, oh, let's go. Before they started to ride the roller coaster.
I just
fought
got that.
On the Wall one.
Who sung that?
I fought the Law song. The Police.
I know the Police say that.
No, the band is. Oh no, wait. I was wrong. The Clash. The Clash sings that.
I must say, is it? The Police do say that. I'm like, are you trying to say the Police? Like that would be like the most on the nose song.
No, that was. No, that was. No, the Police was. Was Every Breath You Take.
Yeah, the Police would be like they're trying. What that band's trying to fluff themselves up or something.
Do you remember see-through mouse keys? I remember back in those days, even the computer monitor, they had those see-through things, and even game controllers.
PlayStation that had the remotes like that.
Yeah, they did. I remember.
Most tanning salons don't even allow you to bring food and drink into the thing.
That's true.
I live in Florida. Places like this just straight up don't exist. Because it's sunny like 300 days out of the year.
You don't need a tanning salon in Florida.
My mother just goes and gets a spray tan.
Yeah. I even saw some like spray tan prank videos too. Oh, shit was hilarious. One of them got so dark they looked like Oompa Loompas.
Like in that movie Old Dogs, Robin Williams.
Yeah, that's the one.
What the fuck's wrong with Celine Dion? She has
like fuck you. It's like fuck you.
She has two really great songs.
The movie is doing a really good job of making you root for them to die.
Like first they insult Celine Dion, then
Dude, Mary Elizabeth Winstead insulted SpongeBob, for fuck's sake.
I fucking hate tan lines. I mean, it just looks like you literally just like, okay, why not just get like all natural? Why the hell are you gonna wear a bathing suit to get tan lines? Because it's just gonna make you look weird. I do like the
Closing
build
the
for the
lid.
death.
Oh my god, the lotion coming
Yeah,
out of
it-
that bottle looks like a bunch of raining jizz all over.
I do like the build up to that when how the song builds up to their deaths. where
Dude,
it's
the
like-
song is literally roller coaster. How fucking ironic that was when they
Yeah,
play
what-
that song just because we just experienced the tragedy of a roller coaster accident.
I remember watching this movie over and over again. For some reason, I couldn't understand why.
Honestly, I've never had
It's really
slushy
hard
before.
to figure out why.
Yeah, it's really, really hard to figure out.
I have a theory, but I might be wrong.
They had the alternate death where one of them got out of the tanning bed and carried them out and they got electrocuted and died by high voltage.
I honestly, I'm gonna check and see if like there's nudity, but like I honestly want to see if like the deaths, how different the death will be. But my biggest fear is if I click on it, I don't want to get a copyright strike, not a claim strike.
Yeah.
When I showed that, because then, oh yes, I'm definitely gonna get my channel suspended.
Yeah.
Like,
God, this is so uncomfortable to watch. Watching them get fucking roasted.
I know you see two beautiful women get just.
Just
What? There's no freaking way.
What?
Just something crazy I read on just Google just popped up. It says FBI headquarters to be shut down.
There's what is known as the De Palma.
You think?
Shout out to the Motorola Razor.
If it's too hot, like get the fuck out of there right now. Get out of that thing.
Too
Too
late.
late. That is so fucked up.
Ah,
Oh.
also shout out to Singular.
Remember that was a thing back then? Back then when you had flip phones, you had to add 5 minutes every time you have phone calls. Yeah, because this is done 100% practical. Like this was not done CG when they set one of the body doubles on fire.
Yeah, I just saw it. The one girl gets out of the tanning bed. The one gets out of the tanning bed, and then opens up her friend. Her friend's already burnt, and then she gets caught on fire and electrocuted. And
Yep.
that's how it went down.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, but
her skin is bubbling.
if I was in that position when they were shooting the movies, like, oh, I don't know if I can do it. I don't have it in me to get my ass set on fire.
Oh,
Oh, God.
no, not the glass. Oh,
Oh, horrible way to die.
oh.
They had to get the crew to use the fire extinguisher
And
to
then
fucking put out the fire.
Then the most demented edit in horror movie history. It goes from the tanning beds to coffins.
And it's so fucking hilarious that they are both sharing the same fucking grave, which I don't think that would actually happen in real life. Unless you're a family member.
All right,
No.
hey guys, I'm showing you the scene right here.
Oh, come on. You're going to get copyrights, bro.
Maybe. I'm just trying to think. Let me see. Shit, I can't show it. Never mind. 'Cause
No, not
I'll show
worth it.
Frankie's. I'll show Frankie Cheeks, but I won't show that one because because there is nudity. Like even if like you barely see it. Although guess what? I saw a big YouTuber the other day. A bigger YouTuber let a nipple slip in one of his movies, and I'm like, someone put, "Yo, bro, actually showed the nipple." To which some people are like, "I'm sure he's going to go back and remove that." But if YouTube finds out.
Come on, Diet Billy Joe Armstrong. You need to get to Rockville now.
Oh, come on. The guy from fucking My Chemical Romance.
Hey, that's not Billy Joel, is it?
Shout out.
What's Billy Joel?
No. OG Rosenblatt, you think?
Uptown Girl.
I walk
That's
on
Billy Joel.
lonely road.
That is that's not Billy Joel, Matt. You're stupid in 3 different languages.
No,
Thank
but he's talking about Billy Joel from fucking Green Day. Billy Joel Armstrong, the lead singer from Green Day. Because that's what
I
he
know.
looks like. That's what the
I
fuck
thought he was talking about Billy Joel.
He's not talking about Billy Joel, the Billy Joel.
Maybe the other guy should change
Idiot.
his fucking name. Like Billy
idiot.
Armstrong, no fucking Joel in there. Why the hell? The only reason he's doing that
He must be fucking related to fucking Billy Joe or maybe fucking Neil Armstrong or something.
This is a funny scene right here.
This line was so stupid. Like,
Why do I get the feeling this is the same like cemetery from Smallville where they bury
if you notice this, if you notice the song in the
Right now.
background that they're, have you noticed in the background of the song that they're playing right now at the funeral? Probably it's the same song from the first movie. You have to turn it up a little bit louder or have a surround sound to really hear the fucking background because they are playing the same song from the first movie when they did it, their own little funeral.
I do hate that they try to conspiracize 9/11.
Yeah, no, I was like, what the fuck? Like, this would death not cause 9/11?
These photos will inspire Roger Moore documentary. Not Roger Moore, but
Not
Roger.
even Lincoln's assassination. That
Is
was
it-
not caused by death.
They said these photos would cause a Michael Moore documentary a couple years later. If you get what I'm saying, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know. I
Fahrenheit
get it.
911 Fahrenheit.
Fahrenheit 9/11. Fahrenheit 9/11.
That's all it is. A conspiracy theory about was 9/11 an inside job. I mean, you're just like, what? I watched that and I'm just thinking, this is bullshit. I'm just like, it's like, did the towers fall? I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw it, on TV. I mean, I wasn't there, because I was so young.
It was, dude. It was shown on live television.
But I mean, I'm sure I could find somebody that was there. I mean, it's not very hard. Like the guy, they reach in that documentary. They reach really far and try to connect it to conspiracy theories. Like how people have the UFO conspiracy theories. It's like
Mhm,
that.
yeah.
Type of this. I'm just like,
And that the scene really bothered me when they add 2 photos that what caused their death, which is like Abe Lincoln gets the assassination of Abe Lincoln. Death did not cause that shit. It was a person. It was a human being. Even the one in the 9/11 event. Like, what the fuck?
yeah.
Like that one made no sense because
Cinema Sin's
the
kind of
only thing that makes sense of what caused it, if you're seeing the mystery of how they're gonna die, it would be in natural causes or major disasters.
Yeah, Cinema Sense kind of roasted them by saying she shows photos of the plane hitting the tower before it hits the tower, and you're just like, they said, yeah, these were probably taken 5 seconds before that happened. Yes. Exactly. Yes, if you see a plane that's about to hit the tower, you take a picture. Yeah, odds are it's probably gonna hit unless it goes.
Yeah,
up.
the odds are, yeah, you're gonna see a fucking shadow near the Twin Towers.
So whoever, if she's like reach, she said,
Who the fuck came up with that in the writing room? Like, thought that was a good idea, and she dig up in the fucking archives from these old photos.
you know what? It's crazy
Yeah.
to say this, guys. I'm gonna sound crazy for saying this, but wouldn't it be really weird if they had 2 other sequels to follow and they could just show photos from the 2 other movies and they try to put those theories of like, hey,
Yeah, that would have made
that's
more
crazy.
sense.
I know, right? See,
Hey,
they
yeah.
show one photo
And
from
also, yeah, the here's the highway pileup from the second movie. But the thing is, they never mention about these two the 2 survivors at the end of the movie that they survived it.
well, that was supposed to be her
I
cousin.
feel like I'm
In the,
guys. I feel like I'm behind. What's the time?
hold on,
You're
4404.
yeah,
Okay, I'm right there.
yep,
I'm
you're
just
right there
saying,
with us.
Wouldn't it be cooler if she's looking at photos and she sees?
But they did show the 2 main characters from the second movie. The newspaper of how they died was the wood chipper, but did not make it into the final cut of the movie. They showed it on They showed it on TNT, the extended cut.
I'm
So
just saying,
there's a door open that they could bring back some of the characters that did not get brought up.
there is. I will say my favorite scene is this one. See, like I hate this, like the picture of 9/11. I'm just
Like, give me a break. Are you shitting me?
Theory.
You think death causes fucking 9/11 attack?
Also, this kind of contradicts their own statement, death statement, because people are causing these accidents. Death did not cause 9/11. Terrorists did. Death did not cause the Lincoln assassination. John Wilkes Booth did. So really, does it really? So usually
That really made no fucking sense. That was a major plot hole that they're breaking their own logic in the Final Destination franchise. Like, stay true to your
honestly,
logic and abide by it.
JFK. Well, that's a bit murky.
it'd be different if like they had like remember like the Flight 9, the real life plane that went down that inspired the first Foundation, the 1996 crash of like Flight 800 or whatever. Where basically, like, the plane, what happened was the plane got heated up and then it accelerated and then it broke the plane off in half and the pilots and them died and the plane, everybody else on the plane went up like way up in the air like a firework and then it went tumbling down. And
Damn.
like, yeah, they didn't have any front of the plane.
Okay, here's the scene that really pissed me off when she made fun of fucking SpongeBob. Like, fuck you. SpongeBob was fucking awesome. Everybody knows where
SpongeBob is
is
the
from.
best, okay?
And also, it's like she's like so sad that you know that SpongeBob lives underwater. Everybody fucking knows that he lives underwater. It's a basic fucking concept.
And he was
Even if
gonna
you have
buy-
not watched the show, you would know it.
I was gonna buy you lunch. Now your ass is gonna go home. Man.
Now you can fucking starve. Fuck.
He was gonna buy her lunch.
And also, it's part of the lyrics of the fucking theme song of SpongeBob. Even if you have not watched the show, you would know that SpongeBob lives under fucking water.
You could tell this is gonna be like the poor man's McDonald's because they couldn't use McDonald's. They're like,
I know. They couldn't
you see,
bail
the
them
fries,
before
it had
that.
like a red box that looks like McDonald's, like a red box, and
Yeah. So
It's
they
like
had to do like a made up burger joint.
like it's
Guys,
all like
it's time to go.
There is someone
I like that
walking
how that
behind
song
you.
plays. I like that song how
Dude, I brought up this theory in my Final Destination ranking that I think Tony Todd's character is the one who's showing each of the characters throughout the movies of why they're seeing the visions. I think that he's showing them death's designed before it even happened. I think because he's the one who's giving them all the advices on how to survive it, and I think that would make more logical sense of how Mary Elizabeth Winston's character, for instance, how are they seeing the visions before it happened? Who's doing this? I think it's Tony Todd's character. I think he's showing them.
do you think that they would have died if they would have died if they would have stayed in the truck?
I don't know. Maybe.
No, I don't think they would have. You know why?
Why?
Oh, oh,
Well, that's not.
his head.
Well, with him dying, it's not a total loss.
Yeah, good point.
I mean, he was bound to die sooner or later. He deserves to die than any other character in this movie.
Well, guys, I'm going to show you Frankie's if he lived. Okay,
I
ready?
did see that. I did see that one.
Let me see. Can y'all see it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Look.
Frank!
Watch out, watch out.
Yeah, I'd be like, why do you want him to live?
I'm suing fish. I'm rich. Pours on Frankie.
We're all done here. You need a ride?
We can walk to my house and I'll give you a ride to yours.
Yeah, we'll be okay. All right.
Will we?
Yeah, well,
Fuck Frankie. I don't
We
know
said-
why they had to be. I don't know why they had to be the option to save him. Why?
Oh, I do like that. I do like that. Like he says Frankie, and then he just grabs him, and he's like this feels like something like in Smallville. He just grabs. I just realized they don't save anybody. Do they save anybody in this movie? Oh yeah, well they do actually one person. I'll say, do they save any of the people?
Yeah, the sister.
Yeah, the sister's the only one they save. Everybody else is
That's
just like,
the only one.
everybody
Everywhere
else
they
is-
keep every time they come across and try to intervene, they die. They keep failing like 5 times in a row. Yeah, dude, your dead girlfriend was gonna dump your ass.
There is someone waiting. I like that when you say truck. I'm like, that is such a messed up. Like it's just like that's coming. Yeah.
And I think that Tony Todd is also showing the visions, and I think that he's the one showing all the signs. I think he's the one like behind the scenes and see if they would actually beat death. That's my theory.
You've already beat
That would,
death. But they already beat death because
well, they sort of did, but they didn't really.
some people said speculated. Oh, could you beat
Because that's the only explanation. Because every time we come across with him, like 3 times in the movies, he's giving advice on how to survive it, how to beat death, how to outsmart him.
There is someone waiting behind.
And that's the only logical explanations of why the main characters always get the visions and seeing the death's design before it even happened. I think Tony Todd was the one who's doing all that. Yeah, the weight's gonna drop down on his head.
Sir, you were talking about ignorance about 15 minutes ago.
He's like, I'm full of shit. That was funny.
I am a hypocrite, you see.
I wouldn't look at myself of how I'm gonna fucking die. That would fuck with my head. That's all I'm gonna think about.
I would just go into the mental hospital until after this is all
Yeah,
over.
just have me volunteer to the mental institution, like Claire did. There's something up my ass. God, he's like this is the 3rd character who's acting completely ignorant in denial about everything that's going on.
Denial is not just a river in Egypt, guys.
Mm-hmm.
That is the Nile River, not the Denial River. The Nile. Ryan. I do like how he's like, fuck death, fuck death.
Yeah, but every time they try to reason him, like, there's no point. Let him
I
die. You let him die.
He
being
dies
ignorant.
just like they walk in and he does this, and then it just comes down on his face. But they decided like to add like a scene because they said they feel like his death was just so pointless. So they went back and added that. This was all added in with him.
Yeah.
And stuff. Like it was the same death, but they just gave him like a build up to his death.
That dude looks like he's fucking 50 right there. Like, how old is this dude from the high school? Like, the one who's lit all the way, like, "Arr!"
But dude is literally the guy from Snakes on a Plane, the one that gets bit by a snake on.
Yeah. The guy looks like he's fucking
That
50
doesn't
in that
really
movie.
narrow it down.
It's like, is this supposed to be a high school football camp? Or maybe it might be a college football camp or something, because this is supposed to be like after graduation, the seniors.
He laughs and the guy goes, ah!
Everybody's on that testosterone level.
This man just
God, there's so many people on that testosterone level, motherfuckers.
They would never have real swords up there like that.
Yeah, why would they
No.
have swords on there in the fucking workout gym?
I used to be in football, and I know, like, I've been in weight rooms. They don't have nothing like that out.
I've been to that gym. I've been to the gym like this. They didn't have any fucking swords like that hanging up on the fucking wall. I like how they played us in the suspense and try to fool us. Oh, fuck! What a horrible. They just lost another one. Well, bad day at the office. Time to go to the next one.
I'll be right back.
They literally gave them their dirty clothes full of blood.
Oh, by the way, I think it'd be really, really funny if Kevin then goes, "Now, if you excuse me, I got to go to Circuit City and get a PSP. I made a promise."
He did say that. I would die. Like, now it's time to give him a PSP.
I would have laughed so hard if he said that. Like,
I would have loved for him to say that. That would be fucking hilarious. Well, since now he's dead, now he promised him to give him his PSP at his funeral.
time
Oh,
and
yeah,
place,
that-
man.
Here's the nail gun. This is supposed to be like this is supposed to be like a home. This is supposed to be the place where they shot Home Depot. Did he just say Osama Osama ambassador? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's clearly like this is the mid 2000s when
Yeah, there's a
Osama
little
bin
bit of a
Laden
racist remark right there.
still a relevant reference.
Yeah. Here's another choose your own fate. Like, you were able to have the option to not have him shoot one of the pigeons. And then he has a potential to be alive.
What are the chances this is the same home improvement store where Denzel Washington like took care of all those Russians in The Equalizer?
You think there might be a connection? Who knows? He killed one of the bitches, and now Denzel's gonna have to settle the score. This looks too much like Home Depot that they had to take the brand out of there. No, you're gonna get shot with a nail gun.
Yeah, they definitely cleared out a Home Depot to do this. I mean,
They did. It
literally
looks too much like Home Depot.
a Home Depot or a Lowe's. That's the lighting section right there.
Yeah. Guess Home Depot couldn't use the product placement.
Maybe in this case, it's probably for the best.
Maybe it's because it's shot in Vancouver or something.
Yeah.
The dark side, the Force.
Profound stuff there, Ian. You're really onto something there.
I mean, he may not be far off from what he's saying.
That was a decent little fake out right there.
Nobody's noticing what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, your boyfriend killed one of the pigeons.
Like at a certain point, someone's got to turn around and be like, "Say, what's that lifter doing all by itself?"
I know. It's like, why? How did they not hear that?
Just let him go.
Yep.
There you go.
Nope. There goes your girlfriend, bro.
By the way, you know she was in Smallville as well. The girl that just got the nails through her face.
Oh,
What did she play? I can't
The
remember.
Legion of superheroes.
Oh, that's her. God, I didn't recognize her. Yeah. Now I remember her. Yeah, she was. Yeah, Stargirl.
No, it's not Stargirl, but she was the
Oh, you mean no.
the one that takes Brainiac back to the
No, the telepath. Yeah, the telepath woman.
And those cops are like, yeah, you did it. Well, yeah, because you told them. You told them all this crazy shit. It'd be like if Matt told us that he was a ladies' man, nobody would believe him, you know?
Oh, fuck off. Yeah, the chick that died. Yeah, it was Saturn Girl. That's her hero name.
She's also in a show that used to come out on the Disney Channel back.
Yeah, so weird. Yeah.
So weird. Yeah, she took
Yeah, she was
over
supposed to.
for
Her character was supposed to be like the replacement of the main character of the
Mackenzie
show.
Grace,
Yeah, because she left the show because she wanted to move on.
Which is so stupid. Because I'm like, that's
Because I think that went her last departure of that episode was supposed to be like the final episode of her arc, and they wanted to. And they thought that this is gonna be over, and they wanted to keep that show going.
that was literally the X-Files for kids.
It was, and I grew up watching that show. It's on Disney Plus.
I know. That's the first thing I watched when I checked out, and I'm like, man,
Yeah, that was one of the first shows I watched when Disney Plus have launched their streaming service, and I saw that the show That's So Weird on the Disney Channel show, and I was like, I went and watched it. I was like, oh god,
I
I want
watched
to
the
go.
one episode, and I'm like, I'm good.
Really, you didn't like that show?
No, I was like, man, this is not.
I love that show. I think the show holds up.
I just think the vampire episode was so cool, and then I'm watching like, wow, this is not
I love the whole supernatural the whole conspiracy theories of the unknown, like the X-Files for young adults. Like I couldn't believe how dark that show was back in the day in the 90s, where it was a little bit more edgy.
In the business.
Yeah, you got to look younger by having
You know,
ponytail.
Disney. Did you know that Disney made
Made what?
a 9/11 kids movie?
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
Oh,
with Hank
Tiger
Panettiere and Bill Pullman. Bill Pullman
Yes.
played the father in the movie. Yeah, I know. I watched. Yeah, it was like Tiger Cruise. That was the one. Tiger Cruise. It was really good.
What were you saying, Ryan?
Like
What's it?
CRUISE.
Yeah, it's like cruise ship, right?
Yeah, it was Tiger Cruise. That was the name of the Disney Channel movie
Yeah, Hayden
from that
Panettiere.
9/11. Yeah, the
I'm
9/11
like,
movie.
yeah, because that's what kids really want to see is 9/11. I'm like, wow, that's really fun.
It was really good. I mean, Bill Pullman was actually phenomenal in that Disney Channel movie.
Disney's trying to capitalize on anything now, but they were like, you know what people need to learn about? 9/11. I was like, yeah, that'd be really that.
Yeah, that was like 21 years ago when they put that out on Disney Channel. Yeah, but they had a Disney Channel movie called Jumping Ship with the Lawrence brothers. One of them, one of the main antagonists was the pirate and had a gun, a 9mm, in a Disney Channel movie. I was like, wow, they really went there. If you watch the Jumping Ship, it's basically like a sequel to Horse Sense.
That's what I was gonna say. Isn't it a sequel to another Disney
Yeah,
movie?
yeah, it was a sequel to Horse Sense.
And guess who plays the captain of the ship?
Yeah, it was Matthew Lawrence.
Yeah, they're younger. The middle brother was like,
Yeah, the middle
Okay.
brother. Yeah, but he
Okay,
also
all right.
but he also made a cameo in Horse Sense. Was one of the cowboy at the airport. You see him for a brief moment. He took a look at it like, and that's it.
I need to go back and watch those movies. I remember.
I enjoy those early Disney Channel movies. I love Disney
I
Channel movies.
remember watching the first one, the one when he builds him like a clubhouse. He built the clubhouse, and then basically he gets upset because that was his dad's, and he tries to
Yeah, because that was his dad's, and he got upset that he did it, that he completed that tree house without him, which that because he had no attention, because that would disrespect his memory, because he was supposed to complete that tree house with his dad before his passing.
Yeah. You know, I'm not really. You're selling me on that. I might go back and rewatch that.
I think we should just do watch parties of all the early Disney Channel movies. I think that we should do that. That would be
there are
great.
some movies that are just not very.
No, the earlier ones were the best. They were incredible back then. They were better than they are now today.
You know, his face is doing this. He could just be having an orgasm and die during sex.
You never know. He could have. Once he flashes, he finishes like, oh,
oh shit! That's got me.
oh shit. He died from a premature ejaculation.
What were
Oh,
you
the
saying,
camera's been on the whole time.
Ryan? Did I cut you off, Ryan?
No, you didn't.
I thought you said something like that.
The camera was on the whole time.
Maybe he's in a porn. Maybe that's future proof porno. And then he goes ah, and all of a sudden he goes, falls over, and he has that face.
He dies by
Oh, there's a
premature
wolf.
ejaculation.
He basically ends up like Jim from American Pie. He ends up like Jim from American Pie. Only he dies from it.
He's surrounded by every fire that there is.
It's a very
Okay,
paranoid man.
So last night I was watching CinemaSins Final Destination 3, Everything Wrong with Final Destination 3. And this right here is where they had an issue.
Fuck you, Ben Franklin.
He says, CinemaSins goes, blaming Ben Franklin for all the stuff that has happened up until now.
You get these assholes.
I'm sorry, you're not gonna. They would not let you have fireworks at a fireworks show.
No, they would
I've
kick
been to
you out.
fireworks things. They don't let anybody. It's like only the staff.
You do that, they'll kick you out.
Yeah. What state is this in? I literally supposed to put that in my notes.
Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania.
Okay, I was wondering. I was like,
For the
Is
for the
this-
movie?
I thought this was like Vermont or something.
No, it's Pennsylvania. On the insignia of the police station, it says State
Yeah.
of Pennsylvania.
Yeah. But in real life, they shot it in Vancouver in British Columbia.
Well, I know that. I keep thinking every time I want to say it, my review Canada takes place in Canada.
I mean, you never know. They could have shot in Canada.
There's only one
they
movie
could've
I
been-
know
they
for a
could-
fact it's not in Canada because and that's
They
the
could. The
second-
characters could be in Canada. You never know. That could be a plot twist.
I know the fifth one's in New York, so
Yeah, the fifth
Fifth
one
movie's-
probably was it New York. The fifth one.
yeah, it took place. It's not shot in New York. It took
Oop.
place in. The first two are in New York. The second one is, I think, in New Jersey.
I thought that second one was shot in Vancouver.
No, all four of the movies are shot in Vancouver. The fourth one is.
Oh, you
shot
mean in the movie the
In the
characters
world, yeah,
in
yeah.
the world of Final Destination.
the
Okay,
fifth
gotcha.
movie takes place. It's shot. All is shot in Vancouver, but it takes
Did you notice that one kid with the long back hair dude that gets shoved? The one the character shoved. That he was in Smallville. The one that tried to kill Chloe that snitched on his mom. Remember in season 3?
Matt, we've been established
Oh, yeah.
this already. Everyone on that show, everyone.
Not everyone. Mary Elizabeth Winston and Amanda Crew were not in Smallville.
Actually, wasn't it? Yeah, Amanda Crew was in Smallville.
No,
wasn't it?
nope. She was. Wait. Yeah, you're right. No. You're right. You're right. Yeah, season 4. It was in season 4. One of the
I was gonna say,
sororities.
you're wrong on that.
No.
one.
Hold on. I stand corrected.
Season 4, she was.
I mean,
in,
I don't think Mary Elizabeth Winstead was in Smallville. I don't think she was in that show.
because-
No.
Yeah, Amanda Crew
No.
was at the sorority house.
Yeah, she was one of the
Remember-
sororities in the
One of the
show.
sorority sisters that when Clark's going for the football.
Yeah, they were seducing him.
I mean, so I was gonna say, yeah, she was. I was like, yeah, she.
No. I forgot. I totally forgot about that.
Like, we watched 10 seasons, Matt. Okay, we should know by now. Every one of it should know every extra in that movie. Every extra. This is cursed. I'm like Thanos. This
Well,
is
she was basically like the extra. She was an extra.
yeah. I'm like Thanos with cursed. knowledge.
Evangeline Lilly was an extra in season 1 of Smallville.
If they made a Funko Pop of her, this would be her Funko Pop.
I can imagine them doing that.
That's her signature. You know,
Someone
she
needs to control that fucking horse.
You know, they actually drug her. Really, they actually drug her, but not with a rope, obviously. But she had a harness dragging her, and she did
Yeah.
that whole stunt herself, with them dragging her with a harness.
Wow.
I can tell she did her own
Good
stunts.
for her. Good for her.
Ooh,
Ah,
damn.
that's like a hanging right there.
Now you know, whenever it pulled her, the horse took off and it pulled her, it would have broke her neck. I mean, it wouldn't even
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
There's no
That's a
way. Your neck would have been
snap.
broken. Your neck would have been snapped instant. Your little friend here.
Oh
That hoodie could not protect you for that long.
Fatality.
no.
Yeah, your little boyfriend's next.
Yes, the death just skipped her. He would be dead. He would be dead. I'm sorry, but he
Yeah.
would be dead.
He got kicked by a horse, John Wick style.
That is still one of the gnarliest moments in those movies.
That had
Like,
my
just
jaw
the
dropping
fact-
when I saw that in the theater. The audience, we were like, whoo! Like, what the fuck?
John Wick out here making pencils and horses dangerous.
He uses the horses as a weapon.
Hey, y'all remember
Even the
we
book,
got a
the
John
book,
Wick
he
sort
used-
of movie coming out?
Yep, but here's the thing. He used a fucking
The
book as a
ballerina?
weapon.
The ballerina?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
What
was
about
gonna
it?
say, remember Ballerina's coming out in about a month?
Oh, yeah.
I keep forgetting.
I know,
what's
yeah, but
coming out
also
in
they're
June.
not really talking about Ballerina that much. There's not a lot of hype going on with that movie.
I don't even know that there was a Pixar movie coming out in June.
Yeah,
I'm like, because they haven't talked
Elio-
nothing about it
Elio-
really.
That was
Elio, and I'm like,
Elio.
Disney hasn't even said shit about it.
They're not even promoting that movie as much. Like,
Is there
I-
even
I-
a trailer out for it?
Well, they did have a trailer. They
There-
did add a trailer a
there's a
while
teaser.
ago. But also, they're not promoting the movie enough. They're not getting the word out. It may show you that they're probably not confident in that movie.
Oh, you know they buried. Did you hear that they buried? They're burying Ironheart.
No, I didn't know that,
Yeah,
but
I
I know
heard.
it's. Well, they're still going to come out on Disney Plus. They just dropped the trailer not so long ago.
They're just shoving all the episodes like hurry up
Yeah,
and
they're
get all the
they're. Well, no, they said they're going to show the first 3 on the day it comes
and then
out.
they're going to show the next 3. It's going to be like the Andor schedule, like we're 3 and 3,
Or-
3, 3.
Well, I thought I just finished the final season, and I will tell you that it really did pay off. It made me want to jump right into Rogue One, and it made it even more like sad for what happened to Cassian next.
Some people, they were supposed to drop the trailer the day before the Superman trailer, but then they pushed it to the next day, and then the Superman crushed that trailer. Like nobody.
Oh yeah,
talked about it.
right now it's at 18 million views. It's at 18 million views for Superman.
What is
The
what
hand
is it? What
was
is
still-
Yeah, the way
The
he got
hand
crushed
was still
down by that
twitching.
thing, and then he's twitching with his middle finger up.
like, That's actually how the movie ended originally. That's how
Yeah.
the movie ended.
Wow.
And they walk up. Oh, but
Well, they did. No, they did had an extended ending after that McKinley gets crushed, and they just and then they just go about their day, and then just ends the movie.
Yeah, and it ends with like a shot of the camera, of her digital camera.
Yeah.
But then when they did reshoots, They added the newspaper clipping because that's why they don't do the choose your own fate with the subway system because
Yeah, but now in this one, they had an extended ending that they showed it on TV on TNT about the 2 survivors from the second film of how they died from the wood chipper,
yeah.
and it's not even in the theatrical cut of the movie. They
They
add
said-
that deleted scene in on TV on TNT.
Ryan,
Yes.
you okay?
Yes.
Wow, are you so concerned with them?
I was like, right, no. It's just like I just thought maybe I was like, where it's like, did I cut him off? No, but originally the sister, her cousin was gonna be the girl, the survivor from the second film. She was gonna meet her up in the subway and go, hey, how you doing? Well,
Oh.
what happened was she was shooting Criminal Minds at the time.
Oh yeah, that would have been much more crazy cameo to show up that now that their cousin is about to die along with her.
Yeah, that's why they only saved it for the sister because that's why they wanted.
But we still don't know if they're actually dead. They may still be alive, and there's a door open that they can
Producer
actually
did say
return.
that the DVD interactive is not canon and that they are still alive in the main continuity. That's
Yep, there's
Todd's
Tony.
voice.
Yeah, that's Tony Todd's voice. End of the line. Yeah, get off the
see you
fucking
soon.
train. That literally Bloodworth is actually telling you to get off the fucking train.
If I'm just saying, if I'm Tony Todd,
Okay, this dude right here has a face painting. He looks like a fucking Kratos' ugly ass cousin
couldn't they
from
like,
God of War.
couldn't they have went and saw Bloodworth once?
No.
It would have made sense. It was just they went and saw Bloodworth once.
Yeah, it would have. Yeah, I wish they would have. I think they just
I
couldn't
could have
get
swore
him.
he was in the trailer for this movie when I was a kid because I remember seeing the advertisement on TV, and I
Well,
could have swore it was the dude walking with Bloodworth while they were in the tanning bed, and he was walking out of the crime scene of the tanning bed, and I'm just thinking, like, obviously that didn't happen, obviously, but I was just I could have swore I had like a Mandela effect where, like, he was walking, the dude's at the crime scene of the tanning bed, and he's talking with Bloodworth while they're walking by the tanning bed.
Mm.
I had like a Mandela effect where I remember seeing that, and I'm like, it's not in the movie, and it's not even.
Yeah, I didn't. I don't remember watching that. I know they had a promo coming out. It was during Smallville commercial break, and they showed the promo for Final Destination 3. And at the time, I had no idea that they were doing a third one until they showed it on TV.
Final Destination 3.
I was like, wait, the third one's coming out? I had no knowledge of it.
Now, and it's made by the good filmmakers.
Yeah.
I don't think David Arnold is a bad
You know, the
filmmaker. I
direct-
just think,
He made Dragon Ball Evolution, and like, oh yikes!
well, I mean, like they made
director-
one bad film. What
The
about you, Ryan?
director of Bloodlines? The directors of Bloodlines did the live-action Kim Possible movie on Disney Plus.
And surprisingly, that the reviews have been positive. the people who make the live action Kim Possible movie.
They faked their
Y'all
deaths.
gotta start
in the-
somewhere.
Well, we all gotta start somewhere.
They faked their deaths to get the job in the movie.
Yeah,
They did a Zoom meeting where they fake killed themselves on the Zoom call.
yeah. Devin Sawa mentioned that.
He said that he thought that was the craziest thing ever. I'm hoping it's on the. I'm hoping. It's
Anyway,
on-
like I don't know how he knows that shit. Like, how does he know that? Is he involved in this shit?
I'm sure that they probably have talked.
I think Devin Sawa is involved in the movie. I think he's gonna
I would
show
be
up in
shocked.
Bloodlines.
I
I do believe he will. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I'll eat my words if it doesn't happen.
Very wrong.
Yeah, the train was gnarly as shit. We don't often see a lot of train crashes that often in movies.
Oh,
Told you to stay down, dummy. Yeah, he's gonna get the worst. Oh, damn.
Oh no!
I appreciate them doing practical effects of this train crash, dude.
I don't think I feel like Dad kind of cheated her, like in this movie, because
She saw the vision. She saw
Yeah,
the
she
vision,
saw
and they
it.
die anyway. For a millisecond. That was the one thing that really pissed me off with the ending of the movie. Like, what was the point? Just for the shock value?
Then this music where it's like basically as if I'm watching Saving Private Ryan.
I think the moment that she's about to get hit by the train, it should have rolled the credits right then and there. We know what's going to happen.
Imagine if someone had a premonition at the train, and then it was too late for her because it wasn't her premonition.
Who else would it be as her premonition?
The next person. They would later do that idea in part 5.
No. To quote Papa Roach, cut my life into pieces. This is my
Got my
last
life into pieces. This is my last resort.
Dun-dun.
Yeah, that kind of felt a little pointless. Like, she saw her vision and then she tries to stop her for a millisecond.
Why
and it
would
was
she try
already
to
too
open
late.
the doors? I would go to the cockpit, not the cockpit, but the.
Well, they were way too far away from the cockpit. Okay, this song is playing Love Train, and it's a remake of the song, but it's played by Tommy Lee. Love Train. That was an ironic song to play that after a train crash.
All right. So, what are your thoughts on Final Destination 6? 5. I mean 3. Ryan.
This is still my favorite of the series. This is the most gruesome, the most vicious. It's the most like near the knuckle, I'll just say.
So you love it?
Oh yeah, 5 out of 5.
Well,
Who cares?
Why did I know that was coming?
All right. What about you, Matt? What do you think?
Yeah, this is my second favorite of the franchise. I did the ranking video and I put it as my number 2 on the list. I liked how they were able to get back to what worked in the first movie, but I only cared a little bit more about the two main characters. But other than that, most of the characters I was just rooting for them to.
Who cares?
At least he's
Not.
equal
It's not really
opportunity.
easily. That was not really the best timing with your jokes right there. That was not really the best. Because I really did
I
not
was
give
really
I didn't really
excited
give a shit about
before.
most of these characters. I was rooting for them to die. And the body count was gnarly as shit.
Yeah.
And how they were able to play out the suspense of how they were going to die, how we think they were going to die, but it does the completely 180 on us. Huh? Get it? 180. But yeah, this is the really good. I still enjoyed it, even though the ending kind of pissed me off.
Yeah. I mean, look, I will say, Matt, I think one thing I really just liked about the movie is I think it has a lot of building towards.
Who cares?
You just made fun of yourself.
I know. I was like, well, it's only fair that I did it. It's only fair. But no, I truly think I really enjoy this movie, but my biggest issue with the movie is that it feels like they start rewriting their own rules in the movie. So whenever you watch it,
Who cares?
That's literally the director saying it.
yeah, basically. Oh, but no, I really truly think though, when I was watching the movie, I'm like, the only thing is though, it's like, okay, for the last movie, it was, oh, you can cheat death, but with new life. But then it's like, oh, the guy says, oh, what if you take your own life? Can that save your death? And then, that's what I feel like each movie, the new writers try to come up with new ideas to be like, oh, there's a way to cheat death. When it's like, really, you can't cheat death.
But did they Kimberly, the main character from the first one, try to kill herself, trying to drown herself in order to save many people? They thought, hey, that's the only way to create new life, and it completely contradicts it.
I agree.
Did you notice that? Did you see the alternate ending of Final Destination 4? When the main character kills himself at that whole mall when the theater is about to get blown up, he takes that fucking extinguisher and fucking goes off the fucking window, kills himself to save his girlfriend and her friend. But then they thought, oh, we broke the chain, and there's a broken chain nearby, and something falls on top of them. So basically, that he sacrificed himself for no reason. If you watch that delayed season, you would laugh your ass off.
I'm so glad that did not happen.
I'm like, even though the movie sucked ass, but at least I'm glad they did not add that ending to the movie, because that would have made it a hell of a lot more worse and full of contradiction.
I just want to say, both of you guys, I am glad that you came here tonight. We were going to do another Batman Terry, but everybody's schedule was wacky, so we just said, you know what, we haven't done 3 yet. We're just going to go do 3 this Tuesday, but we couldn't. Then Wednesday we're going to do it, but I had to go to a wedding, so Friday we were, it was going to probably be this weekend or probably next week, but I'm glad we got to do it this week. I'm really happy. Where can they find you at, Matt?
You can find me at Matt Wyatt 92. I did a trailer reaction to the Superman movie, and I did a Final Destination movie ranking, so definitely check that out. And I will be seeing Final Destination Bloodlines this weekend, and I will be joining these two. We will be doing a spoiler discussion at some point. We'll work out a schedule of when we'll do it.
Okay. And what about you? I look like Walter Cronkite. Hello.
What about you, Brian?
What about you? What about you?
That's the way it was.
That's the way.
He's like, I can't do it.
Mr. Cameron, what about you? What do you have coming up on your channel, Mr. Cameron?
Okay. My channel coming up, my road to Mission Impossible Final Reckoning continues. Mission Impossibles 3 and 4, those are being edited. They will be up very soon. And I'll have a spoiler-free review for Final Destination Bloodlines up as soon as I see it tomorrow. And then the spoiler stream will be after that. So look forward to that. And then Small Talk every Tuesday on my channel. Kitchen Talk every Wednesday on my channel. And yeah, I've got plans. Big plans for the rest of the year, so definitely check us out. Also, earlier today, just dropped the latest episode of the Horror Movie Iceberg podcast with my guy, Russell Howell. We wrapped up our long reviews of the Paranormal Activity series. We finally made it to the end, and now now we can put that series to bed. So if you haven't checked me out, please do.
Horror. I was watching
horror.
I watched some stupid movie on Hulu called.
It looks like it looks like you're making a pose from Halle Berry from that one horror movie in that
Gothica.
Gothic. Yeah,
Gothica.
that's the one.
No, like there was like a stupid movie on Hulu I was watching. It was really stupid. I think it was called like Dramas Club or something. Like Drama School, and someone says horror, and they go, comedy, and then someone goes psychopath, you. And they're like, they're just like, it's a guy just like he's trying to come up. He says, I'm going to show you all how to be an actor, and then he goes horror. And then he's like, comedy. And then they go, psychopath, you. But yeah, I am going to see Finalization probably Sunday because me and my niece are going to do it together because she's been begging me to see it. I told her I won't see it without her, or else I'd go tomorrow. And I'm going to try to see Finalization Bloodline Sunday, and then I'll review it with these guys. Next week we're gonna try to get back to Talking Silence. Still gotta, see if Jason's still up for it. And we're gonna do Talking Silence. Then we're gonna reschedule Batman Terry, and we're going to and then pretty soon we're gonna do Superman Returns. That's coming up in the near future. And and so that's all coming up really great. Small Talk every Tuesday, which we're closing in on the end, and then we're gonna start up the new podcast, which we won't say what it is, but it's in the vein of Smallville. It's in the action.
It's similar. I'll just leave it at that.
And and then similar.
Similar.
Similar. So swear to God, Spider-Man 3 is so memeable. I'm just saying.
It is. It's literally meme worthy. The whole goddamn movie. I remember going to see the re-release of Spider Monday last year, and the first 3 Spider-Man movies. Everyone was laughing every moment of scene that are so meme worthy. They were all laughing.
You literally could just take they're literally. I saw some of them when No Way Home was coming out. Someone went up there dressed like in the black suit Spider-Man and just got kicked out of GameStop because they were saying lines from Spider-Man 3, all the Bully Maguire lines. He goes, "You're trash, brah. You're trash."
You trash,
and then
bro.
he says, and then he goes, "You want forgiveness? Get religion." And then she goes,
look at little Goblin Jr. Gonna cry.
Look at little Goblin Jr. Gonna cry.
And then the guy goes, "I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye."
I'm gonna put some dirt in your eye.
Just like so great, Look at little Goblin Jr. You gonna cry? You gonna cry? I still to this day think Chris Stuckman said that line the best, where he goes, "Little Goblin Jr. You gonna cry?" Like
Little Goblin Jr. Gonna cry.
He did that line. I'm like, that is still the best one I've seen out of every YouTuber that has watched that movie. I still like that makes me laugh every time I watch that review. I'm like, but when he says, "You gonna cry?" Like he actually seems like he's talking to him right now. "You gonna cry?" But so we got that all coming up, and I appreciate you guys for being here. So I don't know if Friday we will be back for 4. I'm gonna try to do because I know it's my birthday next week, so it's been like, so that's gonna be like, it's gonna be crazy because we'll be running and doing stuff. So I don't know, but I'm definitely like Thursday. I know we're gonna have to reschedule. I got to talk to you guys about rescheduling Small Talk because Thursday I'm planning on my actual birthday going to see Mission Impossible. So we got to make sure we got to reschedule that. I know Matt said he's got to go to his clan meetings.
Don't even fucking start there. You asshole.
That's a joke.
Don't.
It's a joke we did on the in our DMs that Matt May said something. I was like, "What are you gonna do?" It's a joke, but yeah.
If only I had control of the video on here on the stream. If only if I had the authority of it, you would know. You would know, Jay.
You are gay.
But yeah, but yes, but seriously, I am glad you guys are here. Seriously, I'm glad you guys are here. It's great seeing the homies together. If only Matt Wyatt was didn't have Transformer One posters on his background, and if he had the Michael Bay movies, because Bayham rocks.
Don't be jealous because I had the bet defended the Transformers movie poster, bro. You wish you would have that.
Guess what? You know what about Ryan? Ryan actually has the Inhumans poster on his wall. So
I do. I saw it in iMac. I saw it in iMac.
If
God
he
help,
tilts his camera,
God help him.
if
God
Ryan
help
takes
him.
his camera right now, tilts it to that over that area, you will see the Inhumans.
He tilted that
Actually,
camera in that position on purpose to hide that fact that he has the Inhumans
No.
poster.
Actually, the poster got moved, but for the sake of this stream, I just took a photo of it, so here it is.
He's like,
The way he's flexing that poster.
hey, you know what? To be fair, I can't say nothing. I got a Spider-Man 3 frame poster on my wall.
Hey,
And
I
it's-
like that. The Spider-Man 3 poster is awesome. I wanted to get that poster when they were doing the re-release of Spider Money, and I didn't get the chance to get that poster. I wanted that poster.
To be fair, I got a Superman Returns poster. But here's the problem with that one. I got it from Walmart.com. And it was a reprint. It wasn't even the original. So basically, somebody took a photocopy of the poster and sold it as photocopies. So I got it, and I'm like, it literally looks like, you ever get a photo, take a picture, and leave it out in the sun for a couple of days?
Yeah.
It looked like that poster.
Oh God.
I'm just
You always got to pick, and you always got to be careful which poster you're getting on Amazon,
I know
because you don't know if they're reprinted.
the Batman Begins poster I got, because I repainted my house blue and put LED lights and everything, and ordered some posters online back in 2020. Since there was no movies or anything, I didn't have to buy movies or go see movies. So I'm like,
I wanted to get the James Gunn Superman teaser poster, but I rather just wait until I see the movie. If it's really good and it's worth putting up on my wall, then I'll put up on my wall. If the movie's amazing.
yeah, which I love. I love. It's a guilty pleasure thing about me is I love buying movie merchandise from bad superhero films. Like I love buying merchandise from Batman and Robin.
Yeah, but some of the posters from bad superhero movies are actually really good posters.
Great. Like Superman Returns. I don't like Superman Returns.
It's not that great of a movie, but it was a great. They have a lot of great posters.
The merchandise is great for it. I love
Oh yeah, for sure.
Look, Green Lantern. Terrible movie, but guess what?
Yeah,
I love the Green Lantern merchandise. I got it.
I did. I really dug those posters that they had for
I
Green
didn't like
Lantern.
the posters, but I just like
Even though that the movie sucked, but the posters were actually bad.
I think the Halle Berry's Catwoman has a great movie poster, even though it's a terrible movie.
Yeah.
I like the poster. Just like it almost kind of looks like you're like the opening to the start menu of the Batman Arkham Asylum.
Yeah.
It almost looks like that, But
Yeah, it does look like it.
But yeah, I just want to say thank you guys for so much. As we wrap up, thank you. If you can follow these channels, give them likes and subscribe. And also, we'll be back soon. And just remember one thing.
You are gay.